Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining me here today so that we could discuss Perfect Strangers. Now, this is the classic sitcom Perfect Strangers, starring Bronson Pinchot and Lynn Baker. A classic odd couple type scenario. Larry lives in New York City. He's kind of uptight. He's trying to make it as a news reporter, but he's not having a lot of luck. He's kind of bouncing around in a furniture store where he gets abused. He lives above it. He's trying to make it, but he's really struggling. He's also like a really introverted, neurotic type person. So when Balky, his estranged cousin from Meepos, which is a much different culture than Larry's used to, when he arrives, things kind of start to set off for Larry, and Larry has no idea who this guy is. He doesn't even know if it's really his cousin. But they end up moving in together, and over the course of the show, they end up working together. They end up moving again. They meet stewardesses who are roommates to be their girlfriends. And the show just kind of follows them as they, get into one, hijinks-laden adventure after another. It's corny, it's cheesy, but it's funny. Bronson Pinchot really brings a lot of charm to the role, although honestly, eventually it becomes kind of like a catchphrase machine. But it's still, for once you're 6 seasons into an 8-season show, like you kind of overlook that stuff to get to the end. But it was okay. It's a sitcom. Like all sitcoms fall into that pretty much. Not all of them, but the vast majority do. Lynn Baker is a great counterpoint because he's actually a really skilled actor. And although he's just silly and over the top here, like he is able to anchor the show at times and let Balky kind of run wild around him while he's, holding down the fort. So I think it's a really good dynamic that works. The stewardesses are great. The girlfriends, just pure 80s sitcom stuff. It's just misunderstandings, bumbling around, getting into trouble expectedly and unexpectedly. Ran for 8 seasons. I'm not going to say that every episode is great, but there are some really, really good episodes here. There's the one where they try to impress the girls by fixing their bathroom. Fantastic, hilarious slapstick episode. There's another one where it's kind of like a tribute to the candy episode in I Love Lucy, where they've got this Maposian like treat that they're trying to make at home to make money, and I think it's called like a Bibi Babka or something like that. It's been a few months since I saw that season, but that was a great episode. I even think like the Silent Movie tribute episode was good. As far as like did it end satisfyingly, it ended like how a sitcom like that ends. It wasn't given any great gravity or weight. It was just kind of like here's the last adventure, and that was it. So this is a show rooted in reality, kind of in like a wacky version of real life. So it's not like I expected some big, gigantic finale, but maybe like a little bit more of a poignant send-off would have been okay. They kind of went with like, just kind of a regular episode and then kind of something a little special at the end. But I like this series. I'm nostalgic for it. I actually didn't remember how it ended for like a long time. And I was finally like, look, I'm just going to rewatch this show. I had a great time watching it. I watched it over the course of a few months, and I had a good time with it. Is it cheesy? Yes. Are some of the episodes really not that funny? Yes. But overall, is it a fun, nostalgic show with a great like time capsule of that era? Absolutely. Like it's hard to fathom maybe, but like people were saying like all the Balky catchphrases constantly. Like it was part of the TGIF lineup on ABC. So like everybody pretty much was watching this show. Anyway, that's my review of Perfect Strangers. I had a great time revisiting it and finally, getting the complete start to finish Perfect Strangers experience. If you like 80s sitcoms, I would recommend it. Or if you just want to sample it, I would go with some of the earlier seasons. They're a little bit more wacky and over the top before they tried to like, develop characters, that kind of stuff. But the show as a whole is solid. So that's my review of Perfect Strangers. If you want to check out more reviews, there's a dedicated movie review playlist right here on YouTube. But until then, thank you for watching this. I do greatly appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you soon.